Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking some really fascinating source material and breaking it all down to the absolute core so we can understand exactly how things work under the hood. And we are kicking things off with a deceptively simple scenario, the choice of hydration. I want you to picture this. It is a blisteringly hot summer morning. Two friends just woke up, and both are just incredibly, unbelievably thirsty. Their bodies are sounding the alarm for a very basic, urgent need. One friend reaches over and grabs a simple, clear glass of ice water. The other friend, they go for a frosty, sweet soft drink. Now put yourself in their shoes for a second and imagine that immediate, intensely refreshing feeling of grabbing your go-to drink. At first glance, or, at first sip, both of these options seem to do exactly the same thing, right? They're both ice cold, they're both liquid, and they both give you that split-second feeling of physical relief. But we're going to set up a bit of a parallel narrative today. We're going to trace the biological journey of these two totally different drinks the moment they enter the human body. Because once they're inside, well, two wildly different physiological processes are about to kick off.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the path of water, an immediate rehydration.
So, when you drink water, it doesn't just sit around in your stomach. It gets right to work. It travels straight down through your digestive system and gets rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream. And look at what happens once it arrives. It rehydrates your cells immediately, it regulates your body temperature, supports your digestion, and acts like a transit system carrying nutrients all over your body. Literally every single cell you have is depending on this water to function. We're talking about your brain, your muscles, your heart, your kidneys. They all rely on this direct delivery system. Within just a few minutes, your entire biological machinery genuinely starts to feel refreshed and, well, totally optimized. But honestly, what's really fascinating here is this one incredibly powerful number: 0. This incredible biological refreshment, all of this vital cellular support we just talked about, it happens while adding absolutely zero sugar, zero caffeine, and zero extra calories to your body. Think about that. It's pure, unadulterated hydration without any physiological baggage weighing your system down. And because of that pure hydration, as the day rolls on, our water drinker gets to experience this beautifully sustained physical state. They're energized, focused, active, alert. Their body just stays stably hydrated with none of those erratic physiological spikes or drops. This kind of steady-state hydration is exactly what helps maintain mental clarity and physical readiness all day long. It's totally a marathon of steady biological energy, not a sprint. But what about the other friend? Let's check out Section 2, the path of sugar and its deceptive initial burst. And this brilliantly illustrates the complete opposite approach. So, shifting our focus to the friend who chose the sweet soft drink. Look, there is no denying that the first cold sip is incredibly satisfying. It tastes intensely sweet, and the temperature is just wonderfully refreshing on a hot morning. But in those first few crucial minutes, that sweet taste acts like a trigger for a cascade of rapid-fire biological events. The sugar floods into the bloodstream. Almost immediately, blood sugar levels begin to rapidly spike. And in response to that sudden massive wave of sugar, your brain releases chemicals that create a very distinct, extremely pleasant feeling. So for a really short window of time, this person feels a massive burst of energy. The mechanics are lightning fast, and that temporary reward feels pretty awesome. Which brings us to Section 3, the divergence. Basically, when the sweet path fails. So this is the turning point where our parallel narrative takes a sharp left turn. Because when the sweet path fails, it fails hard, and it fails quickly. That initial pleasant burst of energy from the soda, it simply doesn't last. The human body just cannot sustain that kind of artificial peak. What goes up must rapidly come down. So let's break down the body's actual reaction to this sugar overload. Step 1. Your body realizes blood sugar is way too high, so it panics a little and releases a surge of insulin to handle the sudden load. Step 2, because the insulin is doing its job, those elevated blood sugar levels begin to aggressively drop. And step 3, the sluggishness and the thirst return. The crazy thing is, the body's very attempt to regulate itself, to safely handle all that extra sugar, actually leaves the person feeling totally drained and, ironically, thirsty all over again. We actually have a specific biological term for this exact moment: the sugar crash. It's the physiological drop in blood sugar following an insulin release, causing feelings of tiredness, sluggishness, and a strong desire for another sweet drink. The massive irony here is that the sugary drink didn't actually solve the initial problem of being thirsty in any lasting way. Instead of feeling revitalized, the person just finds themselves craving yet another quick energy boost from another sugary drink. It's a total loop. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into the big picture, the long-term ripple effects over time.
We've been super zoomed in on just a single hot summer morning so far. But what happens when we zoom out? What happens when these choices are repeated day after day, month after month? Well, the impact on your body's overall machinery becomes incredibly obvious. Over on the left, we see the results of regular water consumption, better concentration, healthier digestion, and highly efficient physical performance. The body just functions better because water supports almost every internal process without asking for anything in return. But on the right, we see the path of frequent sugary drinks. Over time, this path starts to accumulate a huge amount of extra sugar and calories in your diet. And excessive consumption like that can contribute to weight gain, tooth decay, and a whole host of other potential health problems. The contrast in long-term bodily efficiency is pretty stark, right?
So moving on to Section 5, the simple best choice. It's all about balance, moderation, and finding your ultimate fuel.
So the crucial point is, well, first of all, I want to be perfectly clear about something. Enjoying an occasional cold soft drink is totally fine. Having a sweet drink every now and then is a perfectly normal thing to do. We're not saying you can never have a soda again. But when your body is truly signaling that it needs hydration to function, water is hands down the best choice. As our source material beautifully captures, think of water as the fuel that keeps your body running smoothly. Without enough of this clear, simple fuel, your biological engine literally has to work harder just to pull off everyday tasks. Water is what prevents your engine from overworking itself.
Ultimately, we're looking at two entirely distinct paths here. One path offers true hydration, biological balance, and long-lasting refreshment. The other offers a very quick but rapidly fading burst of sweetness. Honestly, it's pretty amazing to realize that a simple glass of water, which, let's face it, might not always seem like the most exciting option in the world, is actually undeniably one of the healthiest and most supportive choices you can possibly make for your own body. Sometimes this simplest choice really is just the healthiest.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. Next time you're truly thirsty, which path will you choose? I really want you to reflect on your own daily hydration habits. The next time you wake up on a hot morning or you finish a tough task and you feel that unmistakable, totally urgent urge for a drink, think about the biological impact of your very next sip. Are you going to choose the quick spike, or are you going to fuel your body's cells for the long haul? The choice is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep exploring all the amazing ways your body works.